Hi, it's Lucy here, and I am so excited to be speaking at the 30-Day Business Plan Summit. And welcome to my training where you're going to learn how to get your biz organized with a strategic system, even as a newbie. But first, before we dive in case you don't know me, hey! I am Lucy Reyes, the founder of Cheers to Blogging and the creator of Level Up Your Biz with Trello. I'm a mompreneur running 2 online businesses from home with 2 littles. I have a 10-month-old baby girl and a preteen, aka 9, at home. So on the weekends, you would find me cheering so loud on the sidelines at my son's soccer games. But then we would come home, we would play Mario Party, and I would win at every single mini game. Yes, we are a pretty competitive household. But all in all, my family is the reason why I do what I do, and I'm sure that you can relate because, yeah, life is busy and things get pretty chaotic, right? We all have so many priorities and distractions in our lives that we have no choice but to be super intentional with our time. And that's where biz organization and strategic systems come into play because they honestly make your lives as an online business owner so much easier. And so it is my mission and my passion to help you with productivity and strategy and a sprinkle of mindset so that you can run a successful online biz without the overwhelm. So here's what we're going to be covering today. Why systems matter, even for newbies, which types of systems to create, and how to create a PLR system using Trello. And then finally, at the end, I'm going to share a free resource that's going to help you create and implement your very own PLR hub system with ease. Don't worry, I got you. But first, I want to start by saying that as an online business owner, as an entrepreneur, because that's what you are, you absolutely need to get your business organized. And the best way to do this is by implementing strategic systems, even early on. And look, even though I am a pretty organized person myself, I'm sure that you can relate with the fact that when you got in this, we had no idea what we were getting into, truly. We had no idea how much work was involved and how much we would actually need to do. So much less that you would even need systems at all, right? But the truth is, the more and more your business continues to grow, the messier your digital space will become. And yes, I know this from experience. So here are the top reasons why systems matter, even for newbies. So they help clear out all of your mental clutter and put it into a centralized place that you can reference over and over again as you start planning out new tasks or new projects. They also make it super easy to visibly see all of your projects and your business tasks, and they simplify the scheduling process so that you can actually follow through with your plans. But more importantly, they help you remain much more focused and less overwhelmed as you work on your online biz. But here's where many people go wrong when creating their first systems. They think that one system is enough. And so they try to lump everything all together into one big, massive system that only adds on to your overwhelmed feeling because now all you see is one big, disorganized mess. Are you guilty of this? Because I know I am. I mean, that's how I figured it out, right? Because I was right there. So what if instead of having one massive system, you have a bunch of smaller ones? Because that's what we're going to talk about. Here are the main types of systems I recommend to my students for them to implement whenever you're running an online biz, so that way you can run it a whole lot smoother, okay? So the first one is planners. There is just so much involved with running your business that you cannot possibly fit it all into one planner. And this might burst some bubbles, but that's why there comes a point where your paper planner by itself just doesn't cut it anymore. And look, don't get me wrong, I was a paper planner girl for all of my life. I was a paper planner girl, okay? And even before I switched to Trello, I searched all over the internet. I shopped at all of the Targets. I went through pages and pages of Amazon trying to find a paper planner that would suit me. But it's just not possible, because I realized you would need more than one planner. So, like, I guess technically it could work, but you would have to have multiple planners, right? One for every single aspect of your business, like one for your emails, one for your social media, one for your blog posts, your Etsy shop, etc. For different time periods, you know, like a weekly planner, an annual planner, a monthly planner. And yeah, some of these can get lumped together, but essentially you would need to be able to plan out different tasks on different sheets and different sections and all of this stuff, right? And paper planners just don't have that functionality, or at least most of them don't specifically for online business owners. Okay? And because you need so many of them, housing them inside of a project management tool like Trello really eliminates like all of that paper clutter while making your business a lot more organized at the same time. So I'm not saying to go get rid of your paper planners, because you can use them alongside a project management tool, but it is going to be super helpful if you can have multiple planning systems for the different aspects of your business. The second thing is workflows. You also need several, and I mean several workflows, okay? And what I mean by workflows is basically a list of steps involved to complete a certain task or project. Because look, how many times have you found yourself write one blog post or create one printable on your weekly planner, and then at the end of the week, you fall behind because you didn't get that printable done, and now you feel unmotivated and you feel like you didn't accomplish anything. So you feel unaccomplished, and now you're like upset because you're like, oh my gosh, like I didn't get anything done. Where did the time go? Yeah, there's my hand again. Look, you're not alone, okay? You are not alone. But the truth is that there are so many steps involved with everything that you do, more than you probably realize, okay? And that's why it's going to be super incredibly helpful for you to create your own workflows and checklists that involve all of the steps to a specific task. And I'm talking about all of the steps, okay? Even the super baby ones that you're like, oh, like that's an important, like that's super tiny, like I don't need to write that down. You need to write it down. Okay? Because sometimes that one little tiny step that takes you 5 minutes, something happens and then it took you 30. And now where did that half an hour go, right? So think about creating workflows for like your blog post, you know, like what are all the steps involved with writing a blog post? I can tell you that my own personal blog post workflow includes more than 25 steps. More than 25 steps from me starting the keyword research all the way to hitting publish on that blog post. 25 steps. So can you see why you may fall behind when you write one blog post and then you feel like you got nothing done, when in reality you probably got like 10 or 15 of those steps done, okay? So that is why you need to create a workflow, okay? Another example is for your digital products, when creating your printables, or even when listing some products on Etsy. Those are all great workflows to start with. And lastly, you want to have several different hubs as well for the different aspects of your business again. Because, once again, there are just so many different moving pieces and way too many aspects that it gets way too messy if you try to lump everything and dump everything into one place. So instead, you really want to separate out the different things and create individual hubs for different categories. So an example could be, a hub for your Etsy shop, for example, where you would store anything related to your Etsy shop, or a hub for your business information. So anything that's going to help you run your business, like links and your PO box information, and maybe any swipe copies for comment replies, all of that stuff, okay? Even a separate hub for your email, like everything, all things email, that could have its own hub as well. And by doing it this way, it allows you to not try to cram everything into one place, and it gives you the ability to get even more detailed and even more specific with like subfolders and checklists and all this stuff for that one hub. And don't worry, I am about to show you one example of a hub that's going to be incredibly useful for you, especially as someone who's venturing into creating your own printables, okay? So I'm about to hop over and share my screen, because since I know that many of you are interested in creating small digital products like planners and printables, which is something that I sell on my mom blog as well, then you might start venturing into using PLR. I mean, Faith herself sells a bunch of PLR that I myself buy all the time. And you will probably never know because it gets customized, but it helps you not start from scratch, which is why I absolutely love using PLR templates, especially for printables and planners and etc., because they really do help speed up the creation process, okay? So let me show you what I mean about creating a central hub for one aspect of your business using Trello. And in this case, it's going to be for PLR. So let me switch over and show you this template. Okay, so we are inside the PLR downloads and template hub. So one thing to mention is that this is where you would store everything and anything related to PLR to make it as easy as possible for you to dig into this board whenever it's time for you to use certain things, okay? So inside of Trello, you have these things that are called lists. These are lists, and then within each list, you'll have a card here, okay? And so within this hub, so essentially in this first list, you can get super, super detailed and create subcategories to help you sort and separate out all of your PLR products and templates, okay? And the list is truly where you would get strategic with the way that you organize your content inside of each list, okay? So first, let me walk you through what this list right here would include and what would be helpful and relevant for you to include inside of something that's like a hub, okay? So for this example, you can include important links, right? So perhaps links to your own Etsy shop or your own store. And then you'll see in here that you'll have different checklists, right? So different checklists for different things. So in this case, it doesn't have to be one where you would check it off, but more so a list of these links that you would reference as you're needing to use your PLR content. Another idea would be to add any courses or maybe even some YouTube video links that you reference regularly, especially if you're newer to creating printables. You might find it helpful to be able to watch someone, create these printables on a video while you do it side by side with them. And so if you find yourself kind of searching that same YouTube channel all the time, or you have a course that teaches this to you, it would be helpful to just go ahead and link it in here. That way you don't have to sort or search all over your email and your inbox and that bookmark that you don't know where it is now. Just go ahead and add it in here. This is also a great place for you to store all of your amazing printable ideas, any PLR bucket list, because there's so many great sales all the time, and maybe it's just not the right time for you, but you know that one day you're going to want to buy that PLR template. So go ahead and just start a bucket list, okay? And if you have any favorite PLR shops, then go ahead and add those in here as well. You can add the shop name and the shop link. That way, as you're needing new templates, you can just easily reference them, okay? And now, you can customize this however you see fit. If there's absolutely anything else that would help make running your PLR side or the PLR side of your business a whole lot easier, go ahead and add a card for it and add it into this list here. And depending on what you're selling, you may also have different types of product categories. And so you'll want to create different lists for the different types of categories. Okay, so some examples include things like this planner, some calendars, maybe you sell some journals, or maybe you even sell some kid printables. So in that case, you can come in here and create a new list that says kid printables, right? And then you would create a card just like I did here to really help you be able to visually see all of the PLR content that you have. And the reason why you want to have a hub like this to begin with is because, one, if you are especially going to be selling printables on an Etsy shop or on your own Shopify store, that means you're more than likely going to have more than a few printables for sale, right? And this is even more so, especially if you're going to be selling like anything holiday specific, because there are just so many different holidays, right? And so this will make it super, super easy for you to be able to visually see everything that you have without having to like really search through folders where you don't know what it is, okay? So here's an example of one. And I really do like to include like a screenshot of a part of the printable, because especially if you're like a PLR hoarder and junkie like me, you're going to get all of the bundles and there will be several bundles or, summits where they include all of these different stuff, right? And you're going to be overloaded with a bunch of different PLR products. And a lot of times it might be the same type, right? You might get like 5 different 2022 planners. And so the name that you would be labeling it right here would be the same thing, but it doesn't mean that you're going to use them all, and you might like some more than the others. So I do recommend that you take a screenshot and then you can drag it in here, or you can add it as an attachment. Another thing that you can do inside each specific card for every product is add any links or details to where you stored the product, okay? So this is where the labels would come in, because as you see here, you can add labels as you're organizing your PLR content into this hub. So you can mark where this PLR is housed. So is it a Canva PLR product? Was it created in Word or PowerPoint? If you already know that, oh, this is going to be something that I can use in a course, because maybe you're a course creator as well. Printables, journals, planners, these all make great bonus ideas. And so you might want to label it and be like, oh, I'm going to use this in the future. And you can create your own labels. You can create your own labels, whatever is going to make it easy for you to just visually reference this at a glance, okay? And then any additional notes related to this PLR product, like you might have, I don't know, for example, you might find one that says 2022 and you want to use it in 2023. I don't know. Whatever notes you want, go ahead and add them in here, okay? So this is the PLR hub, and don't worry, we are going to give you something in just a second. Let me get this other screen back up because, okay, here we go. Okay, and we're back. So I know that that was just a pretty high level overview of the PLR hub. But if you want to grab this exact PLR Trello board templates along with a much more thorough walkthrough and a behind the scenes of my own PLR hub, then you can score it for free going to www.cheerstoblogging.com/BPS, okay? And this is only available to this summit's attendees outside of my program, so be sure to scoop it up if it's something that you are interested in using for your business. So there are really just a few action steps, 2 action steps from this training, and that is 1, to brainstorm the different types of systems that you can implement based on the 3 that we covered, which is a planning system, workflows, and hubs. And then secondly, go access your free PLR Hub Trello board template and get it implemented ASAP, okay? Because the sooner you do, the sooner you'll be able to start getting your biz organized, and you do not want to wait until it's already a mess. Already have it in place so that way you can avoid all of that drama of having to go through all your folders, okay? It is not fun. And I speak from experience on that one, okay? And lastly, thank you so much for taking time to watch this presentation with me today. I would love it if you follow it and send me a DM over on Instagram at Cheers to Blogging and let me know your thoughts on what we covered today, okay? And I like to close by a little something that we do inside of our home every single day, and that's to cheers to something good that happened in the day, okay? So I want to ask you what you are cheering to today, and as for me, I am going to be cheering to you, your success, and your productivity. So have an amazing day.